So today is again another stretch. I'm finding that stretching is probably the best route forward for me, and I'm hoping that if you're getting on your journey to fitness, that stretching is going to help you as well. We're going to sit either cross-legged or long-legged, whichever you feel inclined to do. You will need a belt, so again, you can use a dressing gown belt, anything just to be able to grab hold of. So I'm going to sit, first of all, either long-legged or cross-legged. And bring your fingertips behind you and really lengthen through the spine. So I want you to feel quite a length through the spine. And then turn your palms up towards the ceiling. Take hold of your thumb and your index finger and have them together. We're just going to settle into some breath work. If you're not happy seated cross-legged, you can always sit against the wall with your legs long in front of you. Just be nice and comfortable. And just start to bring the awareness to your breath. Just be aware of your natural inhale and your natural exhale. You can close your eyes if this makes it a nice, easier practice for you. And just bringing that awareness, a sense of peace and calm. Just focusing on our breath. The inhale and the exhale. Mouth is closed. We're inhaling through the nostrils and exhaling through the nostrils. And you may start to become aware of how busy your mind is, and that's fine. Let's not judge that, just be aware of it. And then bring your attention back to your breath, your inhales and your exhales. And if your mind wanders, bring it back to the breath again. Remember, don't judge, just be aware. Now be aware of your next 3 inhales and exhales. Then slowly allow your eyes to open if they're closed. Just take a moment to see if you're a little tiny bit calmer. And then maybe change the cross of your legs. Interlock your fingers and turn the palms away. Remember, we're moving back into fitness. We're going to take it at our own pace. So inhale the arms all the way up. And exhale all the way down. Now, some of you may not be going all the way up, and that's absolutely fine. We don't judge. We just are fully aware of stretching, inhaling, lifting up, and exhaling down. Inhaling up, and exhaling down. Sometimes, if you can't go all the way up, this could be to do with your bone structure, nothing to do with your fitness. So again, don't judge, just be aware. We're going to do 4 more. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Really focusing on the breath, that calm breath. Inhaling up and exhaling down. This is the last one. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Now bring your fingertips to your shoulders and just draw the elbows together. And then a nice big circle all the way behind you. So again, just really getting into the shoulder joint. Remember, this is stretching with full awareness and no judgment. I'm going to do 3 more. My mind is clicking. One of my shoulder joints is clicking, and that's absolutely fine. It's just a little air bubble that's found the synovial fluid, as long as it comes with no pain. And we're going to take the elbows together and just reverse that now, so come all the way back. And then we'll do 3 more. And then we'll finish here. And then we're going to take our arms into what I call angel arms. And draw the elbows together. Open wide and expand the chest and draw the shoulder blades together. Exhale, close. Now some of you, the elbows may not close, and again, no judgment, just being aware. And again, it simply could be bone structure, or an anatomy of your body. I'm going to do these stretches on a regular basis, hopefully, for this coming week. And then next week we'll do some more stronger postures. Just a couple more of these. Draw your attention to the shoulder blades drawing behind you, back to the center. And then the last one, and back to the center. Some of you will stay here, and maybe you'll have your elbows open, and that's absolutely fine. And draw the elbows together. And then inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. We'll do 2 more. Inhale up. And exhale down. Last one. Inhale up. And exhale down. Bring the hands to the knees. Take your arms out in front of you. And pop one elbow over the other and give yourself a nice warm hug. We can't hug each other in these COVID times, so let's just hug ourselves instead. Long arms in front, the other arm over, and let's have another big, big hug. And then we'll release. So I'm going to bring those arms into angel arms again. Take an inhale and exhale, take a little dip. Inhale up, and exhale, take your dip. Inhale up, and exhale, take a dip. 2 more if you want to, or rest. This is the last one. And then we'll release. We're going to take the arms long in front of us. So nice long straight arm. I'm going to touch one shoulder and then touch the other. Just going to really feel some air in the face, or wind in your hair. Just keep really lengthening out, getting into those elbow joints as well. A couple more. And then we'll bring the hands onto the knees again. I'm going to take the arms really wide now, all the way up. And exhale the prayer all the way down. Inhale all the way up. And exhale the prayer all the way down. Remembering the breath and no judgment. Inhale, lift up. Exhale all the way down. And then this is the last one. Inhale, lift up. And exhale all the way down. So take your arms along in front of you. We're going to go for that hug again. So nice big hug. So really think about somebody that you really, really would love to give them a big hug, but you can't. Just really give a nice hug to yourself and to those others that you love, can't hug. Long arms. And again, let's have that hug. So we've worked with the shoulders now. So we're going to work with the legs. So I'm going to have our belts handy, and I'm just going to lay down. Just laying down with your feet flat onto the mat, and keeping your feet flat onto the mat. Take one leg long, so have one leg nice and long, and keep the other foot flat onto the mat. So you're going to do a set of either 5, 10, 15 or 20, whichever you want. You're not going to land on the mat, so I'm just going to demonstrate. You're going to lift the leg up and all the way down, not landing on the mat. And then we'll start our count. 5, 10, 15 or 20. Here we go. Inhale up. Exhale down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Feel free to stop now if you want to. Inhale up. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Feel free to stop now if you want. Inhale up. 11. Exhale down. 12. 13. 14. 15. Feel free to stop if you want to. Inhale up. 16. 17. 18. 19. We're nearly there. 20. Bring the knee in, give it a hug. Whichever number you manage to achieve, it's a great number. Place that foot flat onto the mat and stretch the other leg long. And again, remember, we lift it up, but we don't land. Okay, here we go. 5, 10, 15 or 20. Inhale up. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Remember to stop anytime you want. 7, 8, 9, 10. Remember you can stop. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Feel that leg getting heavier. 16. You can stop and start anytime you want. 17, 18, 19, and 20. Bring both knees into the chest, rock and roll. Good work. So feet flat onto the mat, we're going to find our belts. Take hold of the belt around one of the feet. Stretch it up. And draw that straight leg with both hands towards your nose. Just feel those hamstrings starting to contract. Take the belt, and on the right leg rising, I've taken the belt with my right hand. If you're on the left leg, take the belt with the left hand. We're going to go out to the side, all the way out to the side. See how it feels. Back to the center. If you want to make it stronger, the foot that's flat on the mat, stretch it long. Take it out to the side. Let's Let's do one more. Out to the side. Back to the center. Change sides. Belt around the ball of the foot. Keep that foot flat. On the other side, take an inhale, exhale out to the side. Back to the center. Stretch that opposite leg long if you want. And out to the side. Back to the center. Bring that foot flat onto the mat and draw that straight leg towards you again. Again, feel those hamstrings. Good work. Change sides. The belt around the ball of the foot. The other leg is long. I'm on the right leg. I'm taking that belt with my left hand and I'm going over to my left. Nice stretch. Back to the center. And again out to the side again. Stretching, taking this on, stretching it away from you as well. Back to the center. Change sides. Belt around the ball of the foot. I have my left leg rising. I'm stretching the other leg long. Taking hold of the belt with my right hand. And I'm just going to go across the body. Stretch. Back to the center. Across the body and stretch. And back to the center. Remove the belt, feet flat onto the mat. Take your right leg up to the ceiling and cross it over the left knee. Through the triangle you've created if you want to, or you can stay right where you are. We lift that left leg up, draw it. Breathe. Change sides. So left leg is rising, across the knee, I will stay here, great posture. Or through the triangle you've created round the back of the thigh, we draw in. Nice. Really getting into the hips. And then we release both feet flat to the mat. So keeping the knees and feet together and the feet flat onto the mat. Draw the knees into the chest and take the legs straight up to the ceiling. Draw the toes to the nose. Take your hands to your thighs and just slide those front thighs a little bit closer. You're going to get a nice stretch along the hamstring, all through the calf muscles and somewhat into the spine, having a nice stretch as well. So just have a little massage of those hamstrings and those calf muscles. And just really start to be aware of the body opening up a little bit. And then knees into chest. We're going to have a little rock and a roll. And then we'll bring the feet flat to the mat. We're going to take the knees all the way to the right. Have a nice spinal rotation and gaze to the left fingers. Back to the center, all the way to the left. And gaze to the right fingers. And then one more time, just really working into the spine in these spinal rotations. And back over to the left. Gaze to the right. And then come back to the center, both knees into the chest. We're going to have a little rock and roll. We're going to come into all fours, so feet flat onto the mat. If you're at home, you may want to be able to grab a blanket or a cushion if your knees are vulnerable. I'm going to take you into a yoga posture called downward facing dog. And the downward facing dog is going to really bring some strength into the shoulders, into the core, into the spine. But we may not want to do it today, so we'll see how we feel. So, first of all, we're going to child posture, which is super long arms in front. Now, maybe that your head does not come to the mat, so bring 2 fists and have your head on the fists. It may be that your buttocks do not land on the heels, so grab a cushion, pop a cushion underneath here, and settle into child posture. So there's lots of different options for your child posture. Remember, no judgment. You're going to take the arms on a little walk all the way to the left. Just walking to the left so we get a nice stretch down the side of the body. Back to the centre, long arms, child posture. And then all the way we go over in the opposite direction. And then come back to nice long arms. So we're in child posture, so we want to have the arms super long if we can, so we get a real stretch in these armpits and around the shoulder blades, because from here we're going to go into downward facing dog. So anchor your hands to the mat, don't move them, they're super glued to the mat. We just come onto the knees. And then if you don't want to do downward facing dog, have a half dog. Just move the hips back and have a half dog. If you do want to do downward facing dog, the arms are strong. I'm going to tuck the toes under. I'm going to lift up the knees. I'm going to move ourselves into downward facing dog. So this is a real good stretch. Now maybe bend one knee and maybe bend the other knee. Just see how it feels. Just bending and straightening. And it may be that your legs are not straight. You may have to have your knees bent to keep that back nice and long in your downward facing dog. Tight hamstrings, your knees will be bent. I'm guessing you're thinking, I want to come out of this now, so we will. We'll pop the knees onto the mat and tuck the toes. Those who want to stay in downward facing dog, please feel free to. Long arms. Super glue those hands to the mat again. We're going one more round. So inhale onto your knees. Remember, you can just move the hips back, have half dog, or tuck toes, lift up. Downward facing dog. Feels better second time round. Maybe bend those knees again. Maybe walk your dog, move the hips now. We like to call it wagging the tail. So think about strength. We want to stretch, but we want some strength as well. And this is going to be the last one. Couple more breaths. Next video will transcend into plank as well, but not this one. Knees down onto the mat. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders. Walk your knees underneath your hips. Inhale your gaze up and your buttocks up. Look up towards the ceiling. Exhale, rounding the back, engaging the core. Let's just do a couple more. And then the last one. And then we'll come back to our neutral position. Just going to lay down on our tummies, elbows on the mat. And just a nice little back bend going on here. So your elbows are underneath your shoulders. Your chest is rising. Now, if you find that your chest is not rising as much, then you may want to put that blanket underneath your pelvis and then lay back onto it, and it'll give you a little bit more rising of the chest. So just breathe here. It's just a nice little back bend. If it's all too intense, you can pop your head onto your hands. And again, awareness. Just being aware of the back bend. If your feet are together, it's going to take this back bend through the entire spine. And we just breathe. We've had a nice stretch. Next video we'll go a little bit stronger. And this video, I would hope that you'll replay it. Please subscribe to the YouTube if you can. Just click the red button to subscribe. And we'll have more fitness videos to get us back feeling good and strong again. There may be many reasons why you haven't been doing your fitness. It may not just be because you've not been well. It may be because you've been too busy at work, too stressed to grab that yoga mat, just couldn't fancy it. But I always think that stretching gets you really back into the feel of the body. So from this position, we're going to take a posture called Cobra. So I'm going to ask you to lay your chest down, bring your hands underneath your shoulders, and when we do that, we tuck the elbows in towards the rib cage. And we push from the hands. Once we've lifted up the chest, then we start to push through the hands. We rise, always a lovely back bend. And then we come back onto the knees, roll the knees back underneath the hips. Take the buttocks back. We're returning to that child posture, a nice soft child posture. Remember, any child posture is appropriate for you. It's just a nice counter posture for a back bend. And from here, we're going to lay on our backs. Have feet flat onto the mat. Knees together, feet together. Arms nice and wide. And then we'll drop the knees to the right. And gaze to the left. Back to the center, drop the knees to the left and gaze to the right. Back to the center, both knees in, nice, really good knee hug, rock and roll. And from here we'll come up into our seated position. So rising up where we began, in our seated position, I'm going to give ourselves a lovely, lovely hug again. So nice long arms, remember. Give yourself a really warm hug. Give somebody that you love a really warm hug. Send it out to them. And the opposite. Nice big warm hug. And send it out to those you love. Namaste. Thank you guys. See you on the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, please.